Willkommen zu Inside Singapore, Mice and Beyond. Mein Name ist Karin Tönes vom Singapore Tourism Board in Frankfurt. Heute sind wir zu Besuch in der National Gallery von Singapur. Das ist ein ganz besonderer Ort im Herzen des Civic Districts. Sie besteht aus 2 Gebäuden aus der Kolonialzeit, die in der Geschichte Singapurs eine ganz wichtige Rolle gespielt haben. Dem ehemaligen Rathaus oder der City Hall und dem ehemaligen obersten Gerichtshof, dem Supreme Court. Heute beherbergt die National Gallery eine große und bedeutende Sammlung südostasiatischer Kunst. Und sie kann als Veranstaltungsort für ganz besondere Events genutzt werden.
So, Supriya, thank you very, very much for the warm welcome here in the National Gallery of Singapore. Please, for our audience, introduce yourself and explain a little bit more about this lovely building.
Hi, thank you, Peter, for coming to the gallery and also for recording us. About myself, Supriya, I'm the deputy director of the National Gallery. I do take care of the business development of the National Gallery, basically where all the commercial side of the gallery, with events, in spaces, in rentals, in tenants. So that portfolio falls under my area. We have actually a variety of different types of events, from small seminar rooms until up to an auditorium that fits in around 200 people. And we have two wonderful decks right on the rooftop. And between these 2 decks, you see a beautiful skyline of Singapore and 2 different parts of it. One that faces the Marina Bay Sands and the Padang, and the other that faces beautiful St. Andrew's Cathedral. But one of the main venues that we have is exactly right here in this beautiful space, which is the Supreme Court Terrace, where you have this wonderful little dome. This is actually one of our best-selling, or a little secret, I would say, maybe not after today. And this is where we house all our social events. I mean, it takes a variety of events in this space. We do meetings, seminars, product lunches, exhibition. Anyone who's looking for something a little bit bespoke, they will actually come over to the National Gallery.
That sounds good, and you are true. This space is really amazing. And when we talk about events here in the house, what kind of support for a good event? Food and beverage is of course necessary.
Of
You're
course.
working together with a network, or you have some in-house solutions?
What we do is we actually provide only the venue to our clients. We do have a list of caterers. Some of them are from hotels, some of them are independent caterers. They too provide the whole sitting arrangements, the chairs. So it's pretty much like what you would like. They would cater to your needs. We do have audiovisuals within the gallery, and if you like something that's quite extravagant, we will recommend to you companies that are familiar with the gallery itself. We are a gallery. So one of the things that we sell very well to our clients is actually, you're not only coming to the gallery just to have your event, but we actually offer you bespoke tours. So that's something that's very, very different. So we do have these tours where it's run by our docents, and they will take you for an hour or so into the various different galleries that we have. We have just behind us the Southeast Asian Gallery, and we also have the Singapore Gallery. And these are tours that we curated just for private purposes, privately guided.
Unsere Führerin Sui Lin hat früher selbst als Juristin am Supreme Court gearbeitet. Sie kennt das Gebäude bestens und kann unglaublich spannende Geschichten darüber erzählen.
So welcome to the National Gallery. My name is Sui Lin, and I'm a volunteer guide with the gallery. So today, I'm going to tell you something about the architecture and of the buildings that make up the gallery. On the left side is the City Hall, and on the right side, the former Supreme Court. The City Hall was completed in 1929 and the former Supreme Court in 1939. But both these buildings have been integrated into the National Gallery of Singapore by nothing else than the beautiful filigree canopy you see up above your head. And that's 15,150 aluminium pieces together with fitted glass panels that form such a beautiful canopy over us. And this canopy also forms the identity of the National Gallery. It unites the buildings together to form one art institution that holds the largest collection of Southeast Asian and Singapore art in Singapore. So the former Supreme Court, which is part of the National Gallery of Singapore, was designed by Frank Dorrington Ward, an English architect from the Public Works Department in Singapore. The building was completed in 1939 and it's neoclassical in style. So you will see here very old examples of architecture, very Art Deco style, and the original staircase is just behind.
Die eindrucksvolle zweistöckige Bibliothek des ehemaligen Supreme Court ist mit ihrer runden Kuppel wunderbar in das Gebäude der National Gallery integriert. Die Kuppel ist heute das Herzstück der Eventfläche im Obergeschoss.
Here we are standing on the Link Bridge, which links the former Supreme Court to City Hall. This bridge was actually fitted between the two buildings in the year 2014, just before the buildings were completed. We are standing in the most iconic place of this National Gallery, which is the City Hall chambers. Here, the instrument of surrender was executed by General Itagaki and Lord Louis Mountbatten after the war. And it is also here that the swearing in of Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, our first Prime Minister and first Cabinet, was held. In addition, this chamber was also used for the inauguration of our first head of state, Yusof bin Ishak, in December 1959. All this happened after Singapore attained self-governance in 1959. Thank you. As I stand at the top of the stairs leading down to the Singapore courtyard, which was once a car park, and it was actually surrounded by the municipal offices, as well as offices of the various government ministries of Singapore, as well as the Prime Minister's office on the third floor. It is a very iconic place indeed, and a very special place for you to hold your events, for theatres, performances, for whatever you wish, in this very beautiful part of the National Gallery, covered in fact by a glass roof, which has water on top. And it is this water feature that makes Singapore and the National Gallery so sustainable, because it cools the building down, and not only that, it makes the National Gallery very energy efficient in many ways. There are also green walls on level 5 and 6 of the roof garden with solar panels. So all this helps to keep Singapore and the National Gallery a very sustainable place. Thank you.
Guided. Well, we have unique tours too, two very distinctive tours. One is called the Art and Cocktail, obviously for those who love to drink.
The Art and Cocktail.
Yes.
Art and Cocktail.
Art and Cocktail.
It sounds great.
It is. If you love beverages, why not? So this is a collaboration with one of our tenants, a Smoke and Mirror, and this is what we do at the gallery. It's not just that we rent these spaces, but we believe in working together with our tenants. So with Smoke and Mirror, we work together with them to look at inspired cocktails. And they have a range of 12 cocktails, but 6 is dedicated to the gallery.
Right.
And what we do is we match them up with our art pieces or even some of our building histories or sculpture.
Yeah.
So we join them together,
Yeah.
we create a story with their cocktail versions, and our docents would come in and then curate this particular tour within clients who are looking for something uniquely different. Now we can sell this together part of an event, and we can also sell it independently, which we do.
Das Smoke and Mirrors liegt im Dachgeschoss des City Hall Flügels. Von der Terrasse hier hat man einen fantastischen Blick über den Padang und rüber bis zur Marina Bay. Die Bar liegt halb drin und halb draußen. Perfekt, um die Aussicht und das warme tropische Klima zu genießen. Aber wenn es mal regnet, ist man im Innenteil trotzdem gut geschützt.
Eileen, Smoke and Mirrors. Great name, great place.
Thank you, Peter.
great that we can be here at this lovely bar, Please introduce yourself and explain a little bit more about this place.
Okay. So I'm Eileen, the bar manager of this space, and this is actually one of the iconic bar in Singapore of Rooftop. So yes, of course, it's with this historical building that we are at the top of the rooftop, and over here you can see for yourself the view, the uninterrupted view, and the stunning city view.
It's amazing.
So over here, you literally is in the front seat of the view that when we have special occasions like the New Year's Eve or National Day, and we have the drone show as well as the fireworks. Then our guests, of course, they get the front seat view.
Yeah.
And over here, we also can take 150 people. And we can actually extend the space over there to part of that, and we can also have up to 330 people.
To 330
people
maximum. So this bar for event professionals can be used maximum for 330 attendees, the people of an event, or of course smaller.
Yeah.
Maybe only a drink like you and me will have here on the bar today.
Yes. So we can actually also have different number of groups. We have a lot of small events that we do for 10 people, 20 people, 50. So they can take partial, they don't have to take the entire space. But for the entire smoke and mirrors, we can take 150 people just over here alone. So we have, you can see that we have a blended space of outdoors and indoors. Yeah. Of course, seamlessly joined by this sculptural design bar, and also with our friendly bartender.
The bartender, remember me one thing, I think you are ranked in different magazines and shows. Can you explain a little bit about that?
So last year, we are privileged to be in the Asia Best Critique bar, and we actually at the 60th spot. And we are also in the 50 years Asia 50 for the best discovery. Yeah.
Sounds perfect. Congratulations from my side. So one thing, it's not only a bar. You also offer some menus. Can you give us for audience some impressions? What kind of food people can choose here?
So day to day, we provide bar food, and we have a mixture of some local food, fusion with Mexican, Western food. But for events, we totally customize.
Yes.
So for instance, when we have Korean events going on, we actually customize the event to be fire food and etc. So usually every event we actually customize. We ask them what's the theme of the event. We do customized cocktail with with a specialized with a logo or colors, etc. And to serve as a welcome drink. And of course, food, we also change the menu accordingly to their preference.
Sounds great. I heard something about a food called Volume 3 or something. Is this 3?
Yeah, that is actually our signature cocktail menu over here. So this is our Volume 3.
Yeah.
Every volume we have a different type of cocktail tour connected with the menu. So I'll talk about the menu first. So this is the Volume 3. For this particular volume, we have 12 forms of art. So if you come by, of course we do the design as it's a never-ending kind of a menu. So you just keep turning and you can see a new form of art. So some includes architecture, literature, tattoo and all. So with this, we actually also work with National Gallery to have an art and cocktail tour. So the guests, they can have a 1-hour tour around with the docents to explain about all the secrets and stories behind the artwork and how it inspired our bartenders to come up with our signature cocktail menu.
This is a good point. So you speak about the bartenders and the thing you create something for us.
So this one is a moral rhapsody. So it's one part of the drinks there. So this inspires by dancing. So you can see around this color and the bamboo. So the design, the traditional dancing is called moral dance from Philippines. So we're using the red scarf because it represents the tradition of the uniform for the Philippines. So you can see the bamboo and the uniform represent this drink is called moral rhapsody. And then for that, it's more tropical and very refreshing.
Thank you very much, Eileen. Thank you very much for this great reception here. It was me a great pleasure, and it was really a hot spot for doing events in Singapore. Thank you. Great to meet you.
Thank you.
And now cheers.
Cheers. Enjoy.
What we are looking into doing is actually so-called to educate people. The gallery, a lot of the time of the gallery is for us to educate people on culture and art. So this is how we start conversations. And because we hold the largest Southeast Asian art within this gallery, I think a little bit of education, a little bit of the know-how, and a little bit of the culture just adds something different to the events itself. I mean, if we think that is fun, we have another very unique bespoke, which is called the back of the house tours.
Okay.
Unheard and unseen. And this takes you back to the golden eras of this wonderful building. As you know, the Supreme Court building here was previously the old former Supreme Court, where there is a court. This is purely a court.
Yeah.
We have preserved some of these rooms, and one of the wonderful people in the gallery came up with this idea. Why don't we come out with a unique tour where no one has ever gone through, except prisoners?
Yes.
So this particular tour will take you together to the journey of the prisoner from the holding cell right up to the gallery docks.
Yeah.
And you actually will walk through a little staircase, and you will go to back trap doors are being opened. What happens is they walk through a tunnel, they walk through the staircase, and we even have trap doors. Because during the good old days, they would go through a different door, and then they stand right in front of the gallery where the judge is sitting. So this wonderful, wonderful tour is something that we have launched in the last few years, and it is so well received because this is not just a place where any ordinary person is able to do. And this is part and parcel of this history of this very rich building, I would say.
One of the very interesting tours we had at the National Gallery is a tour of the restricted areas of the Supreme Court called Unseen, Unheard. And this is a very interesting tour because on this tour, visitors will follow the path of a prisoner who is taken from his holding cell down below in the basement and brought up to the courtroom for his trial. You will then walk through passages and climb upstairs and go through a trapdoor to make your way into the dock, which is where the prisoner will sit for the duration of his trial.
It's an amazing playground for create different kind of events, combine with the galleries, combine with the Formula Court. Great ideas with the art and cocktail tour, and this tour where nobody has gone from the visitors before, only prisoners and people who work with them. Thank you very, very much for your time.
You're most welcome.
It was a great pleasure to meet you here, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you, Peter. Thank you.
Daniele, thank you very much for the warm welcome in this lovely place.
Welcome.
Please, for all the people around the world who watch our MySpot stream TV about the Singapore episodes, can you please introduce yourself a little bit and tell our audience where we are now?
Sure. So I'm Daniele Sperindio. I'm the chef owner of Aiwa Group in Singapore. At the moment, we are at one of my outlets. It's called Arte Daniele Sperindio in National Gallery of Singapore.
But you have not only this outlet, you have also another outlet in the same building. Is this correct?
That's correct. In this building, at the floor below, we also have Gemma. Gemma is another Italian restaurant, but slightly more casual, more approachable, different kind of direction.
I hear your accent. You are originally from Italy or your family?
Definitely, yeah. My accent gives me away all the time. So I'm definitely from Italy. I'm from Genova, north part of Italy. But I've been in Singapore for about 13 years now, so I'm half Singaporean already.
You're not only here as a chef of the kitchen. You are awarded, right?
Well, yes, we've been blessed enough to have a couple of awards. We launched Art in 2020, and then after about 7 to 8 months, we got our first Michelin star, which we retained ever since, and then we also managed to gather a few more accolades along the road. Yes.
Congratulations to have a Michelin star. It's amazing. It's really amazing. It's really great. And when we talk about group dining, things like that, can you give our audience some ideas what kind of sizes you can handle in your places here, especially in the location and National Gallery in Singapore?
Of course. So we do a variety, or we can cater to a variety of different experiences. So we can start from very cozy Michelin star kind of experiences, 11 courses, 30 to 40 packs. We can scale all the way up to 400 people, actually. for example, we are doing Formula One as well. It is part of what we do during the year. It's an amazing event. We are lucky enough to be definitely located on the track, so you can almost touch the Ferrari when you pass by. And for that event, what we do, usually we combine the two restaurants because they are connected by a staircase.
Yeah.
And with that kind of structure, we could reach up to 400 guests.
That's great.
Migrating throughout the two outlets. One outlet may be serving like a reduced a la carte menu, while the outlet on top, we can provide a canapé, with champagne and so on, and live stations. So that's what we do for that specific type of event.
And before we sit together in this beautiful table, this nice restaurant, you show me outside, and definitely the racing track is directly in front of the restaurant.
Directly in front of the restaurant. You look down and you can see the cars. Really, we are talking about 50 meters away, 30 meters away. Yeah,
it's great. Daniele, thank you very much to give us a chance to come here. Thank you very much for welcoming us.
It is my pleasure having you here.
So, and hopefully see you soon again.
See you soon.
Thanks.
Okay, so we have our new dish for this season. It's inspired by a traditional dish called un pollo all'albese, typical from Piedmont. In this case, we have a guinea fowl, has been rolled together with 2 farces, tomato and sardines, a few sauces, marsala wine, truffle, and a touch of roasted tomato oil. All finished with a nice fresh salad with a carrot aioli and roasted scarola.